Yeah. So the purpose of this open session is to give you an idea, not just an idea, a brief idea about the group planning exercise, right? Which will be conducted by Group Captain SRAD sir, who has been the ex-GTO at 3, 4, and 5 AFSBs for 9 long years, okay, with 32 years of service, right? Okay, so ready, sir? Are you there?
Uh, Good evening, everyone. Jai Hind.
Good evening, sir, and good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Jane, sir.
Good to see you.
Good, sir.
Yes, sir. So you can continue.
Okay. There is some background noise. Akansha, could you just look there? Okay, fine. Okay, should I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, fine. Good evening, everyone. Once again, like Akash has been kind enough to, ask me to do the session on the group planning exercise.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, she's already given you who I am, and otherwise you can always find out. I'm already part of the defense pathway setup. Now, this group planning exercise is one of the tasks of the group testing battery of tasks. Okay. When you go for a group testing, I assume that you're all SSB aspirants or defense aspirants. So you would be facing the group testing, GT as we call it. I was a GTO, but group testing is the whole system. Now, one major part there is what you call the group planning exercise. Now, since many of you seem to be new, now there is one basic myth that I will disabuse before we move on. इससे पहले कि हम आगे बढ़ें. Now, your group testing is not just the individual obstacles or the PGT or anything like that. It is, after all tasks are equal. There are 10 tasks there, but the most important are the first 5: the GD1, GD2, the GPE, the PGT, and the GOR. GOR may or may not happen depending on which board you go to, depending on the weather or time of the year that you go in. But apart from that, these are the exercise tasks. Out of these, first 3 tasks, the GD1, the group discussion 1, the group discussion 1, the GP, are basically indoor tasks. They involve discussion. Okay. Now, these, the third task is a group planning exercise, like you already know. Now, why is this so important? Because unlike your GD1 and GD2, where you can say what you like, when you like, as many times as you like, in the group planning exercise, आपको एक different aim पे पहुंचना है. There is a different aim to it. In the discussion that you have, there's a written part also, and there's a discussion also. The discussion that you have has a different end to it, which means there has to be an agreed group solution, a common solution. Now, the overview part is that why it is so important is because it is the first task, it is probably the only task which is close to real life. Discussion to ठीक है, you can keep discussing, they're all theoretical, मतलब you can, geopolitics, nobody is going to be affected by you. PGT, let's face it, हम बल्ली डंडा normal life में तो कोई use नहीं करता. It is just a simulation of what you can do with structures physically. But group planning exercise is the one task which actually is closest to what you might do in real life. It is not more important than the other tasks, but the point is that is one place where you can actually establish your place well in the group. Are you getting me? So that is why it is slightly complicated. Now, what does a task look like? A task itself is very simple. Like they'll be showing you a model. How many of your freshers? Is there anyone who's a fresher here who's going for the first time, or who's always been screened out, never been conferenced out? Where? Okay. Just give me a second.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. No problems. Give me a second, okay? I'll just show you something and then we can it'll help you understand it better. Okay, to start with, your GTO, can you all see the screen that I'm sharing? I'm sharing a model with you. Can you all see it?
Yes,
Is there
sir.
anyone, in fact, it's easier for me to ask, is there anyone who can't? If this is someone who can't, please let me know. Okay. Now, to start with, what is the whole thing? What is the whole exercise? What is the whole group planning exercise? Basically, what he'll do is they'll be showing you a model and they'll be reading out a story for you. It's called a narrative. Once they read it out, there'll be certain problems in that narrative. I will not talk about resources. I will not talk about people. I will just talk about the problems that will be there. There'll be some problems there which nobody will spell out for you. That is why it becomes slightly complicated. And then you'll be asked to, please mute yourself. You can all please mute yourself. Okay. Now, then you'll be asked to find a solution or write your own solution. If you don't see any problems, that is also okay. If you see 6 or 7 problems, that is also okay. But ideally, there are only 4 problems there. So, पहले तो आपको ये model दिखाएंगे, which will come to later. And then they will read out a story, which I told you there will be certain problems. Now, you have to identify those problems, identify what resources are there from whatever situation that they've given you. And then you'll have to identify or you'll have to formulate solutions. It can be a strategy, it can be a solution. And in the end, there are certain limitations which have to be met and the task completed. Only then is the task completed. Okay. Now, what are these problems? Aap puchoge, sir, how are these problems identified? Generally, there are 4 problems. Technically, there are actually, some people say there are 5 problems, but generally it is assumed that there are 4 problems. The number is constant, remember that. It does not increase or reduce. The 5th one is not technically a problem, but it is like a problem. Okay, now what are these? So the first one will be, there will be a threat to someone's life, where someone's life is affected in your vicinity. Matlab, aapke ird-gird ho raha hai. It is not happening in some distant place. Now tell me one thing, if I tell you कि यार US वाले ने ईरान पे बॉम्ब डाल दिया या गाजा में इतने लोग मर गए, are you really affected? It is, I know it is bad, I know lives are lost, innocent lives are lost, but are you really affected? In the sense, can you do something about it? You can feel bad for them, but nobody's going to listen to you. But on the other hand, if something happens next to you, let's suppose someone standing next to you has fallen down, don't you immediately try to help them up? अब बाजार जा रहे हो, कोई गिर गया, साइकिल से गिर गया, हेल्प करते हो ना उठने में, या बाइक से गिर गया. And for things, these things keep happening. So that is the first thing. The first problem is something that happens in your vicinity. Immediacy, मतलब जिसके बारे में आप कुछ कर सकते हो. The second problem will generally be something. Now this is how you'll identify problems, because see, it's 40-45 minutes actually very less to explain the whole thing about the GP to you. There's some of you who have attended those classes with me. They'll bear witness to that. It takes much longer than that. But this is just to give you an overview, something like a teaser as to what the real thing is. Okay. Then there'll be certain other problems like, when there are more lives that can be lost, but that is happening some distance away. And then there'll be something which involves the loss of a national property, or it can be bank money, it can be a monument, it can be anything like that. And then there is one problem which is not really a problem, but it is something that affects someone. It can make a difference to their lives. So that is the 4th problem, but it has to be solved. Now remember one thing, at no point during the GP will you come away saying that isko chhod do, isko zarurat nahi hai. And the 5th one, like I said, which technically is not listed as a problem, is where you have to get back together. No, they will give you a time. वो बोलेगा 7:30 you have an athletics meet, or you might have a program in which you have to take part. Now, whatever happens, for heaven's sake, don't say that late पहुंच के हम बोल देंगे कि चल जाएगा. Because remember one thing, like I told you, this is the closest that comes to real life. Now, in your life, many of you must be working. Now, if you go to your office and you say कि सर रास्ते में कुछ हो गया था, and I was helping someone, इसलिए मैं late आया. Will your boss accept it? Number one. And अगर आप time दे भी देते हो, चलो आपने उसने मान भी लिया, can he break the rules for you? We know how the corporate culture is. Many of you, I assume, are working in some corporate office, if not some government office. So rules are very clear. अगर हर एक का बहाना माना शुरू कर दो, कैसे चलेगा? Because there are a lot of people who might not be telling the truth also. Okay. So these are your problems. This is how you can. Could you please mute yourself? Okay. Now that is how this thing is scaled. Now इसमें आपको मिलके number one, you'll have to write down an individual solution on a sheet of paper, which they will give you. And after that, we'll be required to have a discussion. Now, the discussion is important. Important in the sense, now you will say, sir, written likhwa isn't that important. But if I have to choose, remember, the discussion is more important than the written part. The written is not less. वो बोलते ना क्या खुदा तो नहीं but खुदा से कम भी नहीं. That is the same thing. मतलब it is important to write your written solution well, but it is more important to do your discussion well. Because if you come back saying that, sir, I wrote a very good solution, but I don't, nobody let me speak. That is because you didn't speak. So you have to make a place for yourself, and this is a focused discussion. It is not like your GD wala discussion where you can go on saying what you want, when you want. आप कभी US का साथ ले लो, कभी पाकिस्तान का साथ ले लो, कभी नेपाल का साथ ले लो. You can say what you like. Others might laugh at you, but the fact is you have a say, you have a voice, and if you can say, why not? But not here. Here you are going towards a definite aim. Got it? Okay. Now this is the model itself. Those of you join or those of you are already there, it's not such a big thing. Basically, he'll explain the whole model. It's very basic. I mean, it's nothing great about the model, but it is important and imperative that you understand the model well. अगर आप मॉडल को समझेंगे नहीं, आप इंटरप्रेट गलत करेंगे. I had this candidate who came to me saying that, sir, I don't know how to identify hidden resources. Now, when you take a longer class, I can elaborate as to what a hidden resource vagara is. But these things are there for everyone. Everybody is seeing the same things. Everybody is exposed to the same model. Everybody is reading the same narrative. But how well you read it will decide how well you use those resources, how workable your solution is. Am I understood? Is there anyone who's not understood what I've said so far? Or if I'm going very fast, आप चाहते कि मैं हिंदी में बोलूं? Because main thing is when you leave the session, you should understand. It is not a place for me to, just give a speech and go away. It is for you to understand. That is important. So anyone who has a doubt, abhi tak पूछिए. No doubts? Should I move on?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now we come to the model. Now बोलोगे sir, model, the simple सा model. What is so great about the model? Please excuse me for a moment. So now you'll say the model में ऐसा कौन सा बड़ा बात है sir? It's like any other model. It's just a simple legend. But like I told you, look at it carefully. Because everything is telling you a story. Everything is screaming resource at you. Now, first of all, tell me one thing. एक तो problems जो भी आप identify करोगे सो करोगे, that will be taught. But there's a normal question. What are the resources? What is the first resource that you should identify in your group? जब आपको GTO पूछता है कि what are your resources? What your resources be? What is the first resource that comes to your mind? Can anyone give me an answer?
Manpower.
Human manpower. Manpower.
Yes, manpower or woman power or whatever that group is. Okay. Now, please remember one thing. Now, the size of the group is the size that the GTO tells you. In case you are 10 people, now generally the group is between 8 and 10. 7 to 10 bhi ho sakta. 11 is a very rare thing because I have seen it only once in my entire selection career. So 7 to 10 is your expected thing. You will work with what you have. If you're 10 people, you're free to take 10 people as a resource unless your GTO tells you otherwise. And if you're 7 people, start with 7. So you should be able to work on both extremes. आप ये मत बोलना कि सर 7 लोग थे, हमने जो कोचिंग लिया था, प्रैक्टिस किया था, उसमें 10 का किया था. Now I'm unable to make headway with it. No. That is where your innovation or your ability to think comes in. Think on your feet. If they're looking at you, see, you're looking to become officers in the armed forces. You will be expected to lead, strategize and execute from the word go. मतलब अब स्टार्टिंग से ही प्लान करने वाले स्टेज में आएंगे. प्लान और एग्जीक्यूट दोनों हैं. ये कॉन्सेप्चुअल नहीं रहा. इसलिए इट इज नॉट अबाउट IQ वाला इंटेलिजेंस. इट इज अबाउट इफेक्टिव इंटेलिजेंस. सो व्हेन यू हैव अ प्लान, इट शुड बी अ वर्केबल प्लान. ओके. नाउ यू कम टू द मॉडल. अब मॉडल देख रहे हो. नाउ इट इज सिंपल मॉडल. उसमें वो थिक रेड लाइंस और पक्का मेटल रोड्स, डबल पैरेलल लाइंस और कच्चा रोड्स, उसमें गाड़ी कम स्पीड पे चलता है. सिंगल डॉटेड लाइंस और ट्रैक पाथ और पगडंडी. And then बाकी बाहर अंदर सिटी बता देगा वगैरह वगैरह. But have a good look at everything there. For example, here there is something called an RH, which is there in the story, which says that there is a rest house or something there. Okay. Then there is a fort. Then there is a track, and then there is this is a cave of some sort. Please mute yourself here. Okay. And then there is a jungle here, and there is a bridge here, and there are some towns which are outside. And then there is a scale here. Scale says 20 centimeters is equal to 1 kilometer. Can any one of you at random just tell me what the scale means? What does it exactly mean?
The exact distance is like we need to cover, like we need to calculate with that distance. If we are moving from rest house to track junction, with the scale which is provided, we'll take the distance in respect of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. You got hit the nail on the head. Basically, it is used to estimate distances. Now, remember one thing, from what I know, unless things have somebody is very liberal or very magnanimous, you are not allowed to touch the model. अगर एक आधा जगह है जहां आपको फिजिकल मॉडल बना हुआ है, दैट सैंड मॉडल काइंड ऑफ थिंग, दैट फिजिकल थिंग, तब तो ठीक है 3D मॉडल, बट वो नहीं होता है बिकॉज टू एक्सपेंसिव टू मेक. So you'll have something on the board. So when you see it on the board, they will not let you go and touch the model. So you should master the ability to estimate the scale. Scale is basically 20 centimeters on the model represents 1 kilometer on the ground. Wahan general rule is 3 inches is equal to 1 kilometer. In Air Force boards, and I think it's 5 inches to 1 kilometer in Navy and Army boards. A bit of a difference there, but nothing great. So you should be able to estimate कि 5 इतना है तो इतने बार 5 हुआ है तो मतलब this is roughly this is what my the distance that in this case I have to travel. For example, like he said, from that RH to the metal road, from the RH to this point, this is roughly about 20 centimeter, मतलब 20 centimeter 1 kilometer, but if it in the actual model be about 1 kilometer or something like that. It's an estimation. Remember, it doesn't have to be exact. Okay. Now, where does the catch come in? How does the differentiator come in? आप बोलोगे सर हम सब वही लिखेंगे तो आंसर में फर्क कहाँ से आ जाएगा जब सॉल्व करोगे? Now, there are some hidden things. Okay, for example, can anyone tell me what all resources can be available from this model that you see? आप जो model देख रहे हो उसमें क्या resources identify कर पा रहे हैं apart from this 8 people over there? And आपके साथ जो गाड़ी वाड़ी वो छोड़ दो, but आपको और क्या दिख रहा है? क्या क्या हो सकता है?
Local transport.
Sir, forest guard at Bhagu Jungle.
There's one smart chap who's saying that forest guard at Bhagu Jungle. Very good. Then someone said, what else? Traffic on the road. That's another resource.
Sir, some boating at the rest house.
One after the other. Yes. Or no, why do you say there is a boat there? Why should there be a boat?
Sir, because it is pointing.
The rest house तो कोई भी कहीं भी बना ले यार. तो boat क्यों चाहिए?
So because
security personnel
is a tourist place.
Speak one after the other. We still haven't reached a point where we can all speak together. वहाँ भी यही problem आएगा. बोलो हाँ.
Sir, there is a fort which is a tourist place. So there must be a boating place if there is a rest house near the river.
Not necessarily a rest house. There is a river crossing there. If you notice, there's a Kacha road which is which is fording the river. It is going across the river, and there's a fort, like you said, which is a tourist place. In the narrative, it is there. Although I didn't tell you that, but it is there. So you can safely assume, and the one of the problems here is also a set of children, 3 children who are floating or drifting away in a boat, unmanned boat, in that sense. So you can safely assume that there are other boats there. Number one. अब उसमें see, another thing is, I told you this approximates to real life, which means in real life, like if you join, which is the first question I always ask is, for example, आप जहाँ भी रहते हो वहाँ से आपको overnight कहीं पैसे भेजने 300 किलोमीटर दूर पैसे भेजने, you take the money physically. How will you go? तो पहले शुरू हो जाते लोग, सर मैं कार में चला जाऊंगा, कार नहीं है, सर पड़ोसी का बाइक ले लूंगा, बाइक नहीं है, सर ट्रेन ले लूंगा, ट्रेन चला गया, बस सर्विस का स्ट्राइक चल रहा है, फिर कैसे जाओगे? फिर somebody will say, sir, I'll go and take a lift in a taxi. And even if it's a girl, I mean, there are ladies here, there are women candidates here. तो फिर वो, and the reality there is different. Now that girl, many women candidates say, sir, I'll take one of my cousins or brother, उसको लेके साथ लेके lift लेके चले जाएंगे. वो taxis तो होते ही उनमें लेके चले जाएंगे. It might be expensive. So the whole thing is, it has to be realistic. It cannot be a flight of fancy. It cannot be based on fantasy. कि सर we will land an aircraft here क्योंकि वो ये यूपी के हाईवे पे मिराज को लैंड कर दिया था, तो हम एयरक्राफ्ट लैंड कर देंगे वहां और वहां से फिर चले जाएंगे. No. It has to be based on what is realistically available. So that is very important, because there are people who will say, "No, sir, it can be done like this," or there can be some will go at a speed of some 70 or 100 kilometers per hour, which in fact does not happen. So those, when you join, जो भी class was होता है उसमें बताते हैं कि how it's calculated. Now there's a method of calculating distance also. Now, if you start multiplying and doing everything, it takes much longer. So there are shortcuts which you must be aware, which you must find out. This class is too short for all that because I have another pressing engagement. Otherwise, I could have told you that also. Okay. Now we come to the structure. It's like somebody said there's a forest guard. Now that forest guard is a resource. Don't worry about the hidden resource game, because somebody, there's a big myth floating around, maybe unqualified coaching, or maybe, casual coaching, people say कि नहीं इसमें OLQ ऐसे देखते हैं. You don't think about OLQs here. कि सर मैं अपना cooperation कुछ नहीं करना, ये सब कुछ. Your OLQs are taboo as far as our teaching is concerned. As far as defense pathway is concerned, you are not to worry about OLQ. I have never used OLQs myself. केवल selection में last day काम आता और कभी काम नहीं आता वो. So please don't rack your brains over it. Simply get to the point. Now your thing is to do this as well as possible. So it's maybe same story. A lot of people are obsessed or fixated on hidden resources. Because hidden resources में identify नहीं कर पा रहा. मतलब आप resource identify नहीं कर पा रहे. आपका if you have an obsession. Now tell me one thing. अगर मैं बोलूँ कि आपके पास option है कि you have a bicycle and you have to get a job done. अब कुछ नहीं है आपके पास. तो will you say नहीं सर बाइक में चला नहीं सकता, मैं चलाऊंगा नहीं बाइक. So if you're that person, then maybe this is not the place for you. Although ये पहलवान वाला idea जरूरी नहीं है. You don't have to say कि मैं दौड़ के चलाऊं, since I'm a good runner, I'll go running. You don't have to resort to all that. They're not designed like this. And like I keep telling all those candidates who come to us, just remember those 4 golden words. There is a solution. चाहे कुछ हो जाए, there is a solution. And the solution is not based on पहलवानी कि सर मैं पहाड़ कूद के चला जाऊंगा और नदी में swim कर लूंगा. Don't go for all that. It is using your brains, not brawn. So इसमें भी ऐसा ही है. So identify those resources properly. Now, for example, now in this case, it's like someone used that thing, forest guard. Who was that gentleman? It was a male voice. So, can you pipe up again?
Sir, I did so.
Oh, good.
मैंने बोला.
Can you tell me your name?
Sir, my name is Lakshmikant sir.
Lakshmikant. Now, आपने forest guard बोला, but forest guard किस काम का है? आपने बोल तो दिया, but क्या forest guard क्या फायदा उसमें?
Sir, if there is some mob or something, since they are equipped with weapons, so we can use them to actually tackle.
Very good. Very good. मतलब your identification is clear. In the sense, there's not only एक नाम के वास्ते resource देखना नहीं है. You have to be able to use it. For example, communication. No, इसमें the standard thing is, as GTOs, all communication is down. वो बोल देगा mobile network, recent storm, no mobile network is working, no phones are working, मामला खत्म. So suddenly all your Gen Zs in a tizzy now कि अब क्या करें? And that is when you have to, so you must get used to this kind of thinking where these things don't work. So you must use this alternate means of resources. For example, the classes that we take, now one thing that you must know is say किसी को चोट लगा. Like I told you, the first problem is someone who's hurt in your vicinity. Now आप बोलोगे सर नहीं सर वहाँ तो एक बंदे को चोट लगा है. अब दूसरे वाले problem में there are some 10 people who are going to get injured because of bomb blast or because of planned bomb blast or something. Now remember one thing, what is happening in front of you is what you can do something about. I keep giving that example. आप घर के सामने बैठे हुए हैं and somebody falls down from a bike, bullet उसके पैर पे गिरा हुआ है और आपको पता चलता है कि 3 किलोमीटर दूर there is going to be an accident. आप उसको जाके बोलोगे कि यार मैं अभी आप रुके रहो, आपको तो पैर ही टूटा है ना, मैं जाके उनको हेल्प करके तो ज्यादा लोग को चोट लगने वाला है. वो क्या बोलेगा? कोसेगा आपको. क्या नमूना है यार, मैं यहाँ पैर दर्द के मारे बाइक के नीचे फंसा हूँ और ये बैठ के परोपकारी कर रहा है. So that is why this immediacy is more important. Are you getting me? Now just that is where empathy comes in. When that person, if you imagine yourself in that person's place who's got that bike or bullet on his thigh or something, it can be a broken femur. That person can bleed to death. So that is how you have to identify, prioritize your resources. Prioritization is very important. And then, prioritize your problems. And then once you prioritize the problems, look for the resources. And then use those resources adequately or sensibly to find a solution. Write down your solution. And आप बोलोगे सर solution लिख दिया मैंने, solution बहुत अच्छा लिखा, but लोग सुन क्यों नहीं रहे मेरा बात? That is where your discussion part comes in. Now, इसमें it is not enough to just say something. सुनो मेरा बात और that सामाजिक उत्तरदायित्व तो पूरा करके फायदा नहीं. Here you have to, if your solution makes sense, you will get heard. That is another technique. That's a different story altogether. We'll just go over the narrative so you'll have an idea. Give me a moment. Okay, this is the narrative. You are a group of students who have come from Bhagu, a district headquarters, in a matador or rather, I'll tell you what. I'll read it out for you. Give me a moment. You are a group of students who have come from Bhagu, a district headquarters. Now, where is Bhagu? Can anyone tell me where Bhagu is?
So in the northern part of the map.
Sir, 20 kilometers north.
20 kilometers from the edge of the model. If you go by
Metal door.
By metal road, good. And if you go by the river, then it is
10 kilometers
10
from the boat.
good. So आपको उतना problem नहीं है, ठीक है? In a matador to the Saila Canal rest house for a sightseeing trip. Now this river or जो water body है, this is that it's a canal. Now what can you make out? What information do you have about the canal from what you see? क्या दिख रहा है आपको?
ये भागू की तरफ जा रही है.
It is flowing in the direction of Bhagu, absolutely. So that is the direction of flow. Because see, there are those who will say कि boat करके will go, use the boat and go to Rampur. Now कर तो लोगे. Nothing is wrong here. This is, you are free to do whatever you want. But now this is against the current. In all probability, you should not assume a motorboat. You'll assume a, maybe a rowboat or something. कितना करोगे आप? So imagine what your speed will be. Now then it comes to another thing. Now what speeds will you assume? So that is another thing that you have to learn and find out. Then your first aid doge. For example, okay, we come back to the story again. I'll come back to those later because we're really running out of time actually. You decide to visit Salia Fort, which is the fort that you spoke of there. When you return to the rest house, one of your friends told you that he had forgotten the bag containing the camera in the fort. Matlab, now this someone has forgotten the camera in the fort. Okay. Then you are planning to receive the camera, basically collect the camera, when you heard a shout coming from the direction of the track junction. Now, where is the track junction? Can anyone tell me where the track junction is?
So near Bhagu jungle.
Which I take it that you refer to this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you see a man stumbling towards you. As you rush to him, he told you that he and his wife were scientists belonging to Rampur, a district headquarters. Now, where is Rampur? Can you tell me the distance from
10 kilometer
kilometers from the metal road.
Kilometer west.
और कहाँ है दिखाओ और ऊपर भी देखो ठीक है have a good look.
Sir, 12
Yes, sir.
kilometer west
It's
side.
12 kilometers.
12 kilometer from fort.
From the canal, along the canal. Okay, that is how you use that expression. You use, okay. They had come to the Bhagu jungle. Where is the Bhagu jungle? Here a jungle that someone spoke of. On their motorcycle to carry out research on rare birds. While they were returning back to Rampur from Bhagu, matlab from Bhagu or about this jungle, the gangsters stopped them at the track junction and took his wife as hostage and demanded for the research papers. Yahan kahin hua, this is where it happened. He tried to resist but was badly beaten up and told to get his research papers to the cave in the jungle by 6:30 p.m. Now, where is the cave? This is the cave. That round half tire jo lag raha na yahan, that is the cave. He also told you that they had warned him against informing the authorities. The man fell unconscious after narrating his tale. You were planning on a course of action when you heard screams from the riverside. That is the riverside. Now they call it a river, but it's a canal or whatever, a broad canal. And saw a boat carrying 3 children drifting fast in the river towards Bhagu, which is the direction. Since the direction of flow is that drifting, matlab there is no power, neither human power nor motorized power towards Bhagu. As you rushed to help, you saw the parents in panic. Time now is 5:30 p.m. As bold young students, what will you do? That is, in a slightly fast was the narrative. Now, what problems can you identify? What is the first problem?
Sir, wife, hostage of wife, sir. The first problem.
So according to the narrative, the first problem we encountered is that we lost the camera in the fort.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, both of you better save up that money for that coaching class here. जहां भी ज्वाइन करना है ना आपको, better save up. Now tell me one thing, that fellow came running to you. He was badly beaten by those bandits or thugs or जो भी है. He's fainted from those injuries. आप tell me, मतलब I know you're all youngsters, कभी ना कभी इधर हाथापाई तो होता ही होगा. मतलब he's fainted, मतलब कितना मारा होगा उसको? We don't know whether he's bleeding internally. He's lost consciousness. Now you don't know what state he is in. So here is a chap, ये जो मोटरसाइकिल वाला बंदा बोला था ना, आपके घर के सामने जो गिरा हुआ, ये वही है. वो बेचारा बोल नहीं पा रहा, तो आपने बोला कि इसको छोड़ो, जाके रेस्क्यू द वाइफ, और कोई बोल रहा है कि कैमरा लेकर आओ. आई नो कैमराज आर एक्सपेंसिव, बट कैमरा के लिए बंदे को छोड़ दोगे आप? So here you have the situation in front of you. The chap who's injured is in front of you. He has to be attended to first. And the second one, like you said, is that lady who's been kidnapped or जो hostage रखा हुआ है. But have you seen more problems? आपको और दिखा नहीं?
Sir, second problem can be that boat and children.
So now the second and the third are identified by number one, vulnerability, and number two, time. Now those children are already drifting away in the river. They can't help that, they're helpless. Those kids, बच्चे हैं यार, कोई इधर उधर हो गया तो the boat might capsize. चलो आप बोलोगे सर बोट बड़ा है, तो बच्चे तो डूब सकते हैं. So it is imperative that you rescue them. They're helpless. Now, as far as that lady is concerned, now those bandits have an incentive in the sense, अगर वो कुछ कर देंगे, पेपर दे चाहिए उनको. They need those papers. So you have time. You have something that is holding them back. Are you getting me? And what is the fourth problem? Please mute yourself. Now what? Speak when I ask you to speak. Okay. And what is the fourth problem? आपका कैमरा ही तो है यार. You know it is in the fort. I know it is important. But now that brings us to the second point. Now, when these things are done, you might prioritize problems. You might prioritize issues. But you will act simultaneously. मतलब सारे action एक साथ होंगे. Are you getting me? You will not say कि सर वो बच्चों को रेस्क्यू करने जा रहा तो ये लेडी को he's fainted from his injuries. You don't know if he's collapsed because of blood loss. You don't know whether he's collapsed because of some stroke that he's had. You don't know if he's collapsed because of some internal injury. You don't know because maybe he's broken something, or maybe he's got some internal bleeding. So don't ever see that. That's why this is a slightly tricky GP, where they've told that he's fainted. He was severely injured. He was severely thrashed, and he's fainted. Now put yourself in that place. आपको दो या तीनों गुंडों ने बैठ के कूट दिया आपको, मतलब I don't know what they hit him with, but he's fainted. It's not very easy to faint, okay? In spite of whatever they show in the movies, एक मारा तो faint हो जाता है, ऐसा होता नहीं है. So you have to be realistic. So second problem, like someone rightly said, is that those children drifting away, they're helpless. Their lives are immediately at risk. So सामने जो है उसको तो help करोगे आप. Second thing, rush to those children. Third is that paper and जो lady वहाँ फंसी हुई हैं. But your only argument will be that those people want those papers. So they have an incentive in not hurting the lady. And then fourth is your camera. These are your priorities, but actions are simultaneous. Now what you'll say, sir, agar all actions are simultaneous, so prioritize करके क्या फायदा? Now basically that brings us to how we'll allocate resources. Okay. Now I've given you a hint also. I've done the heavy lifting for you. How what resources can you identify here? बताओ. एक प्रॉब्लम बताओ. पहले बताओ बंदे को चोट लगे, उसको कहाँ लेके जाओगे, क्या करोगे?
So we can take him to the rest house. We can provide medication over there.
Where?
Sir, to the rest house. We can provide him some medication.
But why do you want to take him to the rest house here? Is there some first aid available?
We can do it over there also. Sir, by tying his wound and giving some water.
Whatever his injury is. Now, in this case, it is complicated because he's collapsed. So there is nobody's talking anything about bleeding and all that. It would have been easier if he was bleeding or something. But in any case, your first thing is to rush him. In case you see, now this is where your research comes in. This shows up. See, GP कहने को तो all testing is simple. Ki just go there and get tested. That is how it used to happen in my time. But not anymore. Now you have to prepare because everybody is coming with the same coaching or no, how good you are, well you are coached, or how well you are taught, or how well you have understood. Eventually, remember one thing: the candidate gets recommended. The coaching institute or the people who guide you or your mentors don't get recommended. There can be some satisfaction or some publicity or whatever, but usko chhod ke koi fayda nahi hai. But you get recommended. So you will have to decide what the solutions are. So your thinking has to be like that. Now, what why I got into this whole thing was not because we just met about 2 months ago or something. I retired on 31st of March. I always felt as a GTO that, there are a lot of these things where people just weren't guided. Capable people who weren't guided. Some people I knew can find isko to mushkil hona hai. It's not possible for this child to do anything at this stage. Whether he'll take time, he or she will take time. But a lot of people I felt who weren't told right. Ki maybe someone had told this child this, iska problem nahi hota isko. Like the ability to communicate or the ability to, look at situations in a certain way. Because these are things that are not commonplace for you now. So how you approach them is like somebody saying example, different types of injuries for which first aid is different in every sense. For example, someone breaks a hand. आप बोलोगे हाथ ही तो टूटा सर कौन सा बड़ा बात है? But it's possible that broken hand can injure a blood vessel. That chap is slowly bleeding to death. That injured person, whoever that is. Now, for example, those children floating away. Now, कोई बोलेगा सर float ही तो रहे कौन सा डूब गए? But you know how much panic happens. A small boat, children drifting away, panic. छोटे बच्चे, I don't know, we don't know whether they're related or not. Parents बोला तो हो सकता है किसी पड़ोसी के बच्चे भी लेकर आए घुमाने के लिए, रिश्तेदार के बच्चे हो. So you don't know which child will do what. बड़ों का ही ठिकाना नहीं तो बच्चे क्या करेंगे? So that is where you have to be realistic. Now, when you discuss like this, your group will listen to you. आप चिल्लाते हो नहीं सुनो मेरा बात, nobody listen, and that is the end of your group planning. That is where it goes for a 6. So now you have priorities. Now your first aid आप जो बताओगे, now if it is commensurate or if it is linked to the problem that you are facing, then people will listen. अब हाथ टूटा बोले अब करना क्या, ठीक है हाथ उठा के लेके चले जाएंगे, ये हेड इंजरी है, आप बोलोगे स्कूटर पे बैठा के ले जाएंगे. आई थिंक यू ऑल सीन दैट मूवी ना, 3 Idiots देखा ना आपने सबने? Is there anyone who hasn't seen 3 Idiots? I mean, forget the thumbs up. Anyone who's not seen, put the thumbs down वाला बताओ, so I know कि नहीं देखा है. तो उसमें that आमिर खान वो takes that वो जो शर्मन जोशी के फादर को पीछे बाइक में स्कूटर पे बैठा के लेके चले जाते हैं. No, but can you do that? अब उसके केस में चलो that was a movie, but somebody with a head injury आप बीच में बैठा के बांध के गमछा बांध के लेके चले जाओगे, what are you doing? You're virtually killing that person here. जो simple छोटा सा issue रहा होगा ना, because of a big headache. So you have to find a solution which is related to the problem that is there. That is so important. जैसे आपने किसी ने somebody very smartly identified that forest guard. There is a very smart allocation resources. So many practices that are done. Nobody ever wants to use a forest guard. वो जो rescue करने के लिए forest guards have weapons, like this young man very rightly said. Forest guards know the lay of the land. उनको पता है कहाँ पुलिस वाले को पाड़ के लाओगे, पुलिस वाला आएगा, सब इंस्पेक्टर हवलदार जो भी आएंगे, उनको पता नहीं कौन सा वो कहाँ रामपुर 10 किलोमीटर दूर है, वहां से आएंगे, वो सिटी वाला है, उसको पता नहीं है क्या है, जंगल है. फॉरेस्ट गार्ड वो वैसे भी पोचर्स को रोकने के लिए गन्स रहते हैं उनके पास. He will know exactly what to do. Are you getting me? So that is how well constructed these GPs are. It actually unravels the whole thing like a flower. एकदम it's like a flower blooming. सब कुछ मतलब दूध का दूध, पानी का पानी, as you say it in Hindi, सब निकल के आ जाता है. So that is why it's so important to understand it properly. Okay. Now एक forest guard किसने identify किया? That is a very good hidden resource. Someone else said traffic on the road. It is available. But then you also have a matador. A matador basically, see, this is slightly older GP. हमारे time का matador was a van. It's basically like a Tata Winger or something. It's not that big. It's slightly smaller than that, but very slightly. मतलब ये 10-12 लोग आ जाते हैं उसमें very comfortably. It's a very well-rounded vehicle. I don't know how many of you have seen it. कोई मतलब कहीं एक जगह हो तो, I mean, I'm sure they're all more than 15 years old. ये फिरोडिया से किसी का था वो गाड़ी. So that is a vehicle that they're using. So it is also available to you. Nobody has told you that it's punctured or it's not working or something. So you can use that also. It is there, na? Did anyone say that it's not there? And finally, you all have to get together to reach Bhagu or wherever it is that you have to go for that function. So this is what the outline of a GP is. One second. Okay. Switch on the cameras, please. Okay. Okay, now doubts. There's just an outline after this. There was just an introduction to the group planning exercise, as Akanksha wanted it that way. But any doubts, anything you want to ask? Or you
Sir, I want to ask one.
Please, one by one.
Sir,
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Give me a moment. We don't have much time because I have another engagement. Nobody says no to Akanksha. So just ask your doubts. Maybe 10 odd doubts I can handle, and then we'll move on for a subsequent session whenever. Okay, please go on. Start.
Sir, in my last AFSB, I pointed out that there was a mob who was going to attack a election. So people said we will send only 2 people, and I said we should send at least 4 people to handle it. So they were going against me, and I.
Okay, I'm sorry. I get the point. I'm not cutting you off. I've understood what you. अब इतने experience में इतना तो सीख ही लिया मैंने, ठीक है?
Yes.
Now this is another practical thing. Okay. Now tell me one thing. आप स्टूडेंट हो, ठीक है? नो रोड पे कोई जा रहा है, किसी का किसी झगड़ा हो रहा है, आप जाके मुक्का मार सकते हो आज के दिन पे? what level है? 12th class और graduate? What level है you?
Sir, I am graduate.
आप एक बात बताओ, आप जाके किसी को मुक्का मार दो,
yes,
आप रोक सकते हो, but if you hit someone, you have another case lined up. You have another IPC में 307 coming up towards you. 302 तो नहीं, but 307 तो हो जाएगा. Attempt to murder आ जाएगा. अब दान तोड़ दो, अटेम्प्ट टू मर्डर. सो आप जो राइट रोकने जा रहे हो, यू कैन नॉट स्टॉप इट. नो जस्ट इमेजिन, वी हैव सीन राइट्स, आपको तो कम हो गए, बट इफ यू सीन राइट्स, यू कैन इमेजिन द काइंड ऑफ बंदोबस्त इट नीड्स टू स्टॉप अ राइट. इट्स अ मेजर एक्टिविटी. सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज इन्फॉर्म. नो, देयर इज अंदर कैच देयर कि नो हाउ मेनी पीपल शुड गो. जैसे आपने 4 बोला, इट इज लाइक वेरी सिंपल बिकॉज व्हाट यू सेड वाजंट लॉजिकल. You have to go and inform and then ensure that अगर आपको लोकेशन पता वहां लेके जाना है, but you cannot enforce, especially when it comes to these things कि सर वो ड्रॉबर से हम जाके रोक देंगे या पीट देंगे उनको. पीटोगे नहीं, but it cannot be that you are just an informing kind also कि जाके बोल के भाग के आ जाएंगे. नहीं, because since you are the only people who know or you are the person who's told you what they know, आपको वहां तक जाना है, मतलब उस चीज को अंजाम देना है आपको. So जो आपने जो बोला कि ऐड कर देंगे, that is not possible. Especially today, it is a very we live in very legally conscious times. So आप ये नहीं कर सकते. So that is why they didn't accept it. So I'm sure they went ahead with a 2% informing and carrying on the task. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. That is what happened. And sir, one more thing, like one guy was fractured severely, and I said he should be our priority 1. And they said no, we cannot. We have already have this. They have set the priority 1 as the mob. And later when GTO asked after culmination of the task, anyone has any objections or any additions to do, I said, sir, I want to add that our fractured person should be the priority 1. He said, okay. So like, is it right to raise such thing?
See, कायदे से, no, that reflects on a group, but the fact is that something as glaring as this shouldn't have happened. No, but that shows us, see, let's face it, you were the person who was the candidate who had the right thing to say. But you have convinced them कि नहीं यार, he's injured. ये logically बताते आप. What you're saying is absolutely right. But remember one thing, you are limited or you're only as good as the people you are with. So you cannot blame the situation कि सर वो ऐसे नमूने से सुन ही नहीं रहे थे हमारा बात. वो नमूने थे तो आपको समझाना है. That is on you. Recommend आपको होना है ना.
Yes, sir. Right now, I noted this thing that you said there will be a clotting or some vessels may break severely. This point.
Given that logic, people will listen.
I should have taken it.
But the trouble starts when you start shouting and it becomes a screaming match, and then nobody listens to anyone else. And that is when you have to be the logical guy and say, this is why this is going to happen. Then people listen. Okay.
Thank you,
anyone
sir.
else? Pleasure.
Okay, any more questions?
Don't tell me I was so good कि सब कुछ समझ में आ गया, इतने में पूरा ज्ञान हो गया.
हाँ, प्रियांशु.
Sir, while writing the total distance and total time, does we have to calculate the time of reaching that place and also returning to the place, or does we have to write the time of only reaching to the place?
Which one? Reaching which place? मतलब वापस भी तो आना है आपको. You all have to get together some point. Wherever you have to get back to, आपका original purpose क्या था? You are required to get back by 8 p.m. to participate in the annual function organized by your society. So where are you from? You're from Bhagu. So वापस भागू जाना है आपको, which is 20 kilometers away, wherever from by road and 12 kilometers by boat. You have to get back there. So it's already, see, that is invisible. It's already there.
Sir, I was just asking that while I will write the solution, suppose I am solving the first problem, I am solving the solution one. While writing the solution one, after writing the solution, I will write the total distance and total time. Now,
Yes.
when I write the total distance, then I will calculate the total time I will take to the hospital and return to the place from where I started, or just a place I will take him to the hospital.
See, now, first of all, let's suppose that hospital is 12 kilometers away. Your first effort will be, I will take 20 minutes or whatever X, Y, Z time to reach that place, number one. And then return में how much time will it take to get back? वहाँ solve करने में इतना time लगेगा, वापस भी तो आना है. So everything has to be factored in. The whole thing is complete only when you get back. Tell me one thing. Okay, of course, I'm sure you're single. जैसे मम्मी ने बोला है कि यार आप ना 4 किलोमीटर दूर जाके एक स्पेशल वाला कुछ चीज खरीद के लाना है, आपको भेजा जाने के लिए. तो आप क्या बोला कि मैं पहुंच गया वहां, खरीद लिया मैंने, मामला खत्म, अब मैं दोस्त के घर जा रहा हूँ.
No sir.
आपको तो पता है घर आके क्या होगा, आपको पता ही है. तो घर वापस भी आना है, बस ऐसा. तो see, I told you, this is the one task which approximates closest to everyday life. Nothing comes closer to everyday life than this.
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure. Bolo.
Akash.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Akash. Bolo.
So my question is actually on the common group plan, which is given at the last of the discussion and all. So at my last SSB in Coast Guard, I was the one who gave the common group plan, and the confusion was, which I was going to ask, was that there was no one when the GTO sir asked that who is going to give the common narration. There was a complete silence for at least 15 seconds, and everyone was looking at each other. No one was saying anything. Like no one was to say anything, like narrate the common group plan. But I was the one who got acknowledged by the group 2 on many plans. So I just took initiative and said, okay, I'll take give the common group plan and ask the group if I can. So they agreed, and I gave the common group plan. And sir asked me 2-3 questions. I answered them as per the group decided, not as per me what I said, but as per the group decided. The point was, when I came back and I had a confusion, I asked my peers that was I good and did the right thing of asking to give a good narration. So I just want to bust that myth. If you can answer that, should we ask for giving the common group narration or not? If there is a complete silence or not?
First of all, no, if there is silence, no, that is where seizing the initiative comes in. सब चुप बैठे हैं, उन्होंने पूछा है कि nominate someone. So just ask around. Okay, gentlemen, or ladies or whatever, if it is okay, should I give the group plan? Since there is we haven't worked out on anyone, can I give the group plan? What is wrong with saying this? See, the very fact that the group was looking at each other for 15 seconds should tell you a lot. किसी को तो बोलना है यार. You did the smart thing or did the right thing by choosing the initiative. What is wrong? See, it's been a lot of people. One very common myth that exists in a lot of people who go for boards की मैं पहले बोलूंगा तो am I trying to seize this thing? आप कश तब कर रहे जब किसी और को बोलने नहीं दे रहे. और people are nominating someone and you say कि नहीं मैं ही बोलूंगा. That is when you're wrong. Otherwise, if you have a chance, you must seize it. You must take it. You're not there to listen. Your whole group testing works on your speaking. अगर आप साइक टेस्ट में कुछ लिखोगे नहीं तो आपको साइकोलॉजी को कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा हमने क्या लिखा है करके. तो यहाँ in this case which you very rightly did, there was nobody speaking. There was a solution that had to be given, and you stuck to the group plan. That is a very good thing. That is what you required. वहाँ ये मत करना कि नहीं अब मेरे को मौका मिला मैं जो मेरे मूड में वही बोलूंगा. No. There is some. That's why it's called the agreed group solution. AGS बोलते agreed group solution. So it is what everybody is. It's a consensus. I may not agree with it, but it is what all of us have decided. Okay. 2 more questions. I'm out of time. I'm sorry.
Sure, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so yeah, Vishu, go ahead.
Sir, my doubt is that I understood about the 3 roads like metallic and unmetallic, where one is pakka and one is kacha. But about the Pagdandi, sir, I live in a village where we can drive 2 motorcycle or cycle on Pagdandi. So is it feasible to ride cycle or motorbike on Pagdandi?
कैसी बातें कर रहे हो यार, इंडिया में हम तो साइड वॉक पे गाड़ी चला देते हैं। अब दिल्ली जाओ, जहाँ ट्रैफिक बढ़ जाता है, साइड वॉक पे एक्टिवा लेके जा रहा होता है, वो तो बुलेट भी देखा मैंने जाते हुए। और आप पगडंडी पे आप बोल रहे हो कि टू व्हीलर जाएगा, नहीं जाएगा, अच्छी तरह जाएगा वो तो। आई एम एक्चुअली हम सरप्राइज में बोला सर, हम तो कार भी चलाते हैं सर, हम तो क्या दैट जुगाड़ है, जो व्हाट इज दैट व्हीकल जो जीप वीप चला देते सर, ऐसा कौन सा बड़ा बात है। सो इट आई टोल्ड यू इट इज इन रियल लाइफ में चलता है उस पे। अब उस पे कार में चला देना, बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट करेक्ट टू अज्यूम, फंस जाएगा। टू व्हीलर यस, व्हाई नॉट, वेरी सेंसिबली approximated to what your real life is. Now if you're an urban child की कभी गाय देखा ही नहीं है, then you must find out these things, but that's about all. Makes sense, huh?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I have one common doubt, sir. In some incidents, sir, where, for example, if we take some fire incidents, when we arrive to give our actions in the written part, sir, if we go by the two persons and one person is doing action there, for example, making human chains or spreading fire water to eliminate the fire, and one person has gone to call the fire emergency because phone lines are dead.
Okay.
Is it good that a single person is doing the action and meanwhile one person has gone in the other place to call the services?
First of all, normally those instances that are given are never beyond the scope of your capabilities. Number one, don't worry about that. Number two, now if you have done such a good thing by organizing a human chain and the second police has gone to inform, now fire में nobody can say no. फायर में कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल थेफ्ट, चोरी वगैरह में क्या हो सकता है कि पुलिस वाला माइट से कि नो ये वो करके कहानी दे सकता है, बट फायर इज अ फैक्ट, इट्स अ रिएक्ट इमरजेंसी, मतलब हो गया, उसको आपको रोकना है। इट्स एवरीबॉडीज हेडेक नाउ, सो इट इज ओके, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग? You in fact this the most recommended way of doing is you helping solve you mitigate the issue there, and then going and informing कि कुछ और बड़ा काम कर सके, मतलब somebody who really competent or qualified to help out is coming. Why, what is wrong?
Sir, even if there is a fire brigade nearby, so but it is a far bit away.
Yeah, why not? If nobody knows, क्या करो पहले? See, if it is a small fire, it can be put out there. Why not do that first? Why wait for it to become the 9/11 or that blazing inferno? Stop it. Most sensible thing. What is wrong? See, first of all, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, if this is linked to what your normal life is, don't worry. Just go about constructing. At least that's what we try to teach in our classes. कि the ability to think. लोग क्या करते हैं कि लोग रटना शुरू कर देते हैं। I've seen a lot of candidates who have come to us from various other, wherever they've been taught or whatever they've been taught, or maybe they learned themselves. रट के आ जाते हैं कि सर ऐसे में ऐसा किया था। No. All situations are different. You are expected to be a sensible person, and when the situation comes up, will be able to resolve and find a solution. So any situation, आपका दिमाग चलते रहना चाहिए. That is all. So that is what you are taught to do. Think.
Sir, I would like to add
Thank you,
something
sir.
to this.
बोलो।
So GP is something actually जिसमें आपका रीजनिंग एबिलिटी सबसे ज्यादा चेक हो जाता है, in the whole GTO task, right? And especially for the excluding normal candidates, जो सर्विस कैंडिडेट्स होते हैं उनसे ज्यादा एक्सपेक्टेड होता है, because they usually know more about these injuries and all, right, sir?
Absolutely, Akansha. Because see, just like the classes we take, there is a whole list of emergencies that those candidates are made to work out, because it doesn't happen in everyday life. So burn का treatment is different from a head injury, which is different from a broken leg. And वो injuries का भी, broken limbs का भी अलग-अलग है। किसी का thigh bone टूट गया, the story is totally different. There is that major artery running along your thigh, वो कटा मतलब गया। आपको पता है ना, वो जो मूवी में दिखाता है गला काटते हैं, सब नहीं होता है। आपको थाई में अगर इंजरी हो गया, the fastest way to bleed to death. It's such a मोटा artery. So broken leg is not such a simple thing कि पट्टी बांधकर चलते बने. You have to make sure that that person is immobilized in some way. Head injury. अब उसको क्या सर पे पट्टी बांध के छोड़ दोगे? He might be vomiting or she might be, having convulsions. कुछ भी हो सकता है. So that is the gravity that you have to give. Huh?
Yes, sir. Okay.
Like someone said, femoral artery. Absolutely right. Huh?
Yes. Vipul, last question, and then we'll end the session. Okay. Before that, I would like to tell you that from Monday onwards, we are starting our new batch. Okay. Our previous SSB batch will be ending around this Sunday, and we'll be starting with the new batch on Monday. So if you want to enroll, you can message me directly. Okay. Yeah, Vipul, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I want to say, sir, that I am in second year of my BBA, and I want to give the exam of AFCAT and CDS after my completing my graduation. So, sir, my father is also retired from Air Force as flight lieutenant. So, sir, I was asking, sir, what should I start preparing for? Means first is written or SSB first?
See, clearing the written is important. There's no doubt about it. आप written clear
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
करो तो आगे जाओगे नहीं. Okay.
हाँ.
But the second part is the SSB thing doesn't work in 1 month. A lot of people come to me, sir, मेरा अगले हफ्ते SSB है. So can you tell me? Yeah, tell me one thing. This is a personality test. It is not a रट्टा वाला test कि जाके आपने उगल दिया वहाँ. No, it is a personality which has to be shaped or it has to be guided in some form. मैं आपको जीपी का एक हफ्ते में रटा दूं. If you're so smart तब तो ठीक है. You don't need me in any case or need us in any case. But the point is, you are doing the smart thing. आप जल्दी prepare कर रहे हो. You have enough time to change it. For example, we ended up starting a communication class because of this. When we realized that candidates coming had had difficulty in expressing themselves.
Yes, sir.
जब आप express कर ही नहीं सकते हो, you're finding difficulty to express. How will you make headway in that group? How will you write that psych test? How will you speak in that interview? So we ended up starting 2 communication batches. We have 2 communication batches running along with SSB batch. Although it's a bigger load, but since we we try to keep it budget friendly and convenient for everyone, it's a bigger load. But that is how it is. Why fool people by saying कि नहीं आप कर लो जाके SSB के बता दिया जाके कर लो. But if you are having difficulty speaking, how will you clear that SSB? How will you do something there? So that is how we are going about it. So SSB जो आप बोल रहे, you're doing a sensible thing. आप जल्दी करो. You've got a year and a half to spare. A smart thing to do.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Akanksha, I have to drop my wife. I'm sorry.
Okay, sir. No issues. ठीक है. Done.
Anything else, you can give me a call or talk to Akanksha to tell you what to do.
Aditya, you can message me directly. ठीक है? Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. All the best.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, sir, and good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.